Welcome back to Active Utah Homes. I'm Ryan Shupit. If you've been thinking about moving to Salt Lake City, Utah, or any of the outskirts surrounding Salt Lake City, Utah, reach out. I love hearing from you. And whether you're buying a home in 9 days or 90 days or 9 months, it really does not matter. I will ensure that you have a very smooth move to Salt Lake City or anywhere on the outskirts of Salt Lake City. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about living in Salt Lake City because it's quite a unique place. Living in Salt Lake City, Utah is like hitting the jackpot in the outdoor adventure lottery. I really mean that. I think if you don't enjoy the outdoors, you might not like Salt Lake very much because Salt Lake is known for its stunning natural, diverse beauty and recreational opportunities. It's a vibrant local culture. Salt Lake City is a playground for outdoor enthusiasts and city dwellers. And if you're someone who loves to head into the mountains, that's the thing about Salt Lake. You are right next to the mountains. So here are a few reasons why living in Salt Lake City is a fantastic choice. Salt Lake City is surrounded by some of the most breathtaking mountains in the country. They rise up. My grandparents lived in New Hampshire, and I would go spend the summer in New Hampshire with them, and it's, they have hills, and the thing that you get used to is not being able to see very far because of the forests, just green everywhere. But so there's so many trees, you can't really see that far ahead of you. And then you get back to Utah, and the mountains they just come out of the earth, and they're just huge, and you can see for miles because Utah is a semi-arid desert, and there's not a bunch of trees. And you just have these rugged peaks of the Wasatch Mountains surrounding everything. The whole valley is defined by the Wasatch Mountain peaks and the shimmering waters of the Great Salt Lake, as long as we have it. Hopefully we have it a lot longer. I'm not convinced that we're going to curb our water consumption for alfalfa, but that's neither here nor there. There's no shortage of natural beauty to explore. Whether you're into hiking or biking or skiing or just taking a leisurely stroll through a scenic park, Salt Lake City offers all of those opportunities to connect with nature and to stay active the entire year round. It's a little bit cold, but it's not as cold as say Wisconsin or Minnesota. So it's kind of perfect. And speaking of skiing, do not forget that we have some of the most world-class ski resorts that there are, just a tiny drive from Salt Lake City. If you live downtown in Salt Lake City, probably it takes you 20 minutes to get from Salt Lake to the top of Snowbird or Alta or Brighton or Solitude, as long as there's no traffic. If there's traffic, that's a different thing, but you can get there in 20 minutes. With the famous resorts like Snowbird, Alta, Park City at your doorstep, you have access to some of the best powder on the planet. And that's kind of the thing that Utah is known for. Our snow is so light and fluffy. Imagine spending your weekends carving down pristine slopes, soaking up the sun, enjoying après-ski drinks with friends. It's like living in a winter wonderland, really. There really is something pretty magical about Salt Lake City. But Salt Lake City isn't just about outdoor adventures. It also has a really lovely cultural scene that's going to keep you entertained year-round. As someone who grew up in something of the counterculture, I would say that you have a very distinct sort of majority culture, and then you have a very distinct counterculture too. And they're not completely even. It's not like half counterculture and half majority, but the counterculture is substantial. It's a big part of Salt Lake City, and we are definitely a long cry from something like Los Angeles or New York or that kind of thing. But we have our own little off the beaten trail places that you can go. We've got our museums and our art galleries and our theaters, and there's no shortage of cultural attractions to explore. You can catch a Broadway show, you can browse local art exhibits, or just attend music festivals. Whatever your interests are, there's just going to be something out there for you. And let's not forget about the food scene in Salt Lake City, which is as diverse and delicious as it gets. I go to some parts of the country and they don't have the Mexican food that we have in Salt Lake, and I feel so bad for them because it's some of the most delicious food in the world, and we really do have just a bountiful selection of different places that you can eat. There's all sorts of Mexican places, and then we even have some kind of more off the beaten path, like Ecuadorian, Peruvian, those kinds of things. So whether you're craving gourmet cuisine, casual dining, or international flavors like Himalayan Kitchen is a wonderful mix of Nepalese and Indian food, you're gonna find something here. There are some really trendy eateries in downtown Salt Lake. You have Walter's Osteria, and Walter just passed away not too long ago, but he's been an institution in Salt Lake, an institution of fine dining. He has Walter's Osteria, from trendy eateries in downtown Salt Lake City to cozy cafes in charming neighborhoods. The dining options are endless. And let's not forget about the local breweries and distilleries that are putting Salt Lake City on the map as a food and drink destination. Despite being a bustling metropolitan area, Salt Lake City has a small town feel with friendly locals who are really usually pretty willing to lend a helping hand. Whether you're attending a neighborhood block party, volunteering at a local charity event, or just chatting with your neighbors over a cup of coffee, you're pretty much going to feel right at home in this welcoming city. Having said that, there's definitely an element of the majority culture and the subculture in Utah, and if you don't belong to one or the other, you can feel a little bit outside. I think that's just how it is wherever you go. But living in Salt Lake City, it's a really great choice for anyone who loves the great outdoors and really wonderful culture with delicious food. And I think the culture of Salt Lake City is something that's been evolving over time. And that's been kind of an exciting thing about Salt Lake City, is that it has been evolving. We have more and more summer events at the city county building. Every summer there's some new exciting fun thing. We have the Arts Fest and Gay Pride and things like that. And so with each new different festival, I feel like there's like a new facet to the city that I don't even know about because it's just been happening over time. So pack your bags, lace up your hiking boots, and come experience all that Salt Lake City has to offer. It's a decision that you are going to be so happy that you made. Salt Lake is a beautiful place, and the people really do tend to be pretty nice, and there's a lot to do, and the food is really good too.